What's up, you damn gorgeous and beautiful gamers? Welcome back to role-playing games. This is Mariel Corner in the internet where we like to discuss about RPGs. Gotham Knights was supposed to be released in 2021. Obviously, that wasn't the case. Nevertheless, the game is almost in our hands since it is planned to release in October of this very same year of our Lord Jehovah in disguise. Anyways, here are 10 details, info that I believe that you should know, that I believe that you need to know to keep the information pumping, to keep your hype going at some extent. So yeah, let us go through the first one, which is Batman is dead. At the very announcement of Gotham Knights, it was shown in the trailer that Batman is in fact dead. So, unfortunately, for those craving to play as the Dark Knight, it is not going to be the case in Gotham Knights. Although, it does have to be mentioned that throughout the course of comics, universes and material where Batman appears, writers have always found a way to bring him back somehow, as with many other heroes. Whether that is going to be the case in Gotham Knights or not, that remains to be seen. The next one is that Gotham is also dead. The good relationship that Batman has with the GCPD, Gotham City Police Department, it is mainly because of Jim Gordon, again, several times in several comics, as well as movies, and previously in the Arkham Knight series. However, even when we do not know why, he seems to be dead as well, as shown in a previous trailer, which hinders the goodwill the vigilantes now have with the GCPD. It might be the case that you will have to either fight or avoid police officers, since there is indeed a stealth mechanic in the game, but that's just pure speculation from me. The next one is that it is not part of the Arkham series. At the end of Arkham Knight, Bruce Wayne dies. We also get to see Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason Todd and Barbara Gordon all clustered up together in the last entry of the series. They are indeed present in Gotham Knights as well, which matches up everything alongside Batman's death. However, with Warner Brothers Montreal, they said publicly that it is not a direct sequel nor canon to any of the Arkham games. It is being developed by Warner Brothers Montreal, by the way. It is only natural that they decided not to partake into a canonic take of the series. The one canon game they have developed that was not made by the original developer, Rocksteady, got quite some bruises from reviewers and community alike, which, in my personal opinion, was way rougher than it deserved. That being said, they do have their experience with the iconic Batman Arkham Knight games. They have worked, again, on Batman Arkham Origins, and also with Arkham Knight and some DLC around here and there. They have been present in the, which at the very least, it is reassuring. Now the co-op multiplayer. Strangely enough, even while we do have 4 heroes to choose from, the cooperative multiplayer is only a 2-player thing. It is also, as to be mentioned, there is no couch co-op, there is no split screen. It was said by Warner Brothers Montreal that they decided to make it like that, cooperative multiplayer with only 2 players, so that they could focus on the game being a story-driven one, which is nothing but praisable. Honestly, while it is indeed nice to have multiplayer games out there to enjoy with our pals, honestly, more often than not, companies take multiplayer too far, nearly neglecting narrative, which sucks, honestly. It is nice indeed to say that they did not lose focus on the story at expenses of multiplayer. Now the open world. It is indeed going to be an RPG open world game. That said, question comes to mind and suspicions as well. We know very well how Warner Brothers handled microtransactions on Shadow of War. Granted, it was made by a different subsidiary, but often the biggest and more pop companies tend to like to offer experience packs, levels, crafting materials, and make you grind to get easier to some later areas of the game. I'm looking at you, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Anyways, fortunately, developers said in an IGN interview, sources, as always in the video description, that there will be no grinding in the game. The statement, though, it is still a bit floaty, to be completely honest. Quote, it's not a grind, it's not a situation where you'll say, oh god, I have to grind to this type of mission in order to level up to this and then I can get this. It's really that when you encounter an open world, crime activities and other activities that involve the AI, you're going to see a range, right? You might see guys that are a little bit weaker than you and guys that are a little bit stronger than you. And how you approach each of those situations, it presents you with some choices that you are going to have to make. Like, is this situation where I am going to maybe swap out a piece of equipment because I think I'm going to handle it better that way? Do I want to make a more stealthy approach? All those are options that are available to the player, and at the level of your enemy is just one factor in deciding that. All we can hope is that Warner Brothers learned from the whole microtransaction rage situation Monolith's Shadow of War had with its original launch. One can only hope, right? Now the Clock Tower. This is your game hub between missions and exploration. The game will have day and night cycle, but not as you would expect it to have. While exploring the world, you will always patrol Gotham City at night. During days, you can grab stuff you've collected, analyze clues, talk to Alfred, essentially prepare yourself for next night on Gotham City exploration. The character customization. You will be able to customize your heroes on 3 different levels when it comes to visual. Thank goodness for that. I always like to look flashy while kicking baddies' asses. You have your weapon, range weapon, and suit, which is not going to be made of several pieces of armor that are ultimately make no sense when you use them depending on which one's stronger. According to developers, there is a sort of skinning that you can then alter and customize on accessories, so on and so forth. What we have seen so far in the trailers is damn amazing, I have to say, and honestly, I cannot wait to see what kind of stuff can we do with our heroes. And then that leads us to character progression. Each hero is said to have its own unique skills, and a skill tree as well. There will be indeed character builds, being that the case, 2 Nightwings can be in the same mission, but there will be indeed a very noticeable difference in how they look and how they play, how they act, how they attack, based on players' preferences and how they build it and use the character to their specific playstyle. It is mentioned by developers that the ideal thing would be to have different heroes and missions because they can synergize to some extent and make a more viable approach to the missions, but it is still nice to see that there will be variety enough between the fortnights that will add replay value to the game, trying new things, skills, builds, so on and so forth, and more often than not, we always have a favorite character. There's always going to be the meta character that everyone's going to be playing, and if we are able to look different than the person that is beside us kicking baddies' asses, then it's a win-win scenario, dude. And finally, the villains. The main of it all is, of course, and the plot and the narrative, the Court of Owls. However, as with previous Batman titles, they will not be the only villain you will encounter in the game. Many other villains from Batman universe will be in Gotham Knights, and they will act as bosses, game world bosses, as we were already able to see with Mr. Freeze. This is where I like to make an emphasis. The other Batman game developed by Warner Brothers Montreal is again Arkham Origins. And again, pardon the redundancy, while beats it up my reviews, I do believe that it has some of the most engaging, fun, and memorable boss fights in the franchise. So that being the case, having the possibility to fight against some of the most iconic villains in the Batman universe in an RPG that allows a whole lot of space for customization, man, I do not know about you, but I am definitely interested. And that being said, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Gotham Knights? Which one of these aspects is the one that interests you the most? Are you really interested in Gotham Knights? Let me know everything, let's discuss everything. I'm thrilled to read your comments, guys. That being said, remember that if no one has told you today that you're a gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful gamer, you are indeed a gorgeous and beautiful, beautiful gamer. You are a gorgeous and beautiful person. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel before you close the door, and I'll be seeing you goddamn gorgeous, beautiful people in the next one. Have a beautiful day.